Hello everyone, and welcome along to Shane's Premier League prediction show for match week 31. Only 4 games taking place in the league this weekend, as there are FA Cup quarterfinals also taking place. So I'll guide you through the 4 league games, my predictions, and I'll give you my fantasy Premier League picks for this weekend, and also my Super 6 picks. There's no Paddy Power Hotshot picks taking place this weekend, as there aren't enough games to cover. So not my fault this time around, folks. So here we go. First up tomorrow, Bournemouth take on West Bromwich Albion. I can only see this going one way, and that's the Cherries coming out on top by maybe 2-0, with goals from Callum Wilson and Josh King. Maybe Nathan Ake might score if they don't. Sure, time will tell. They're my picks anyway. And as for West Brom, they're just moving closer to the trapdoor of the Championship for next August. I'm sorry to say. Excuse me a second. The iPad's playing up a bit. Can't see anywhere out for West Brom, unless a miracle of all miracles occurs, which won't happen. And you can quote me on that if it does at the end of the season, and you can tell me all about my mishap. Of course. But highly unlikely. Huddersfield take on Crystal Palace. Huddersfield had a frustrating 0-0 draw last time out against Swansea City. They were playing 10 men for the best part of 80 minutes, and they couldn't break down a resilient Swansea side. I reckon it'll be another bad day for Huddersfield, as Crystal Palace will bounce back to winning ways. I reckon Wilfred Zaha will score twice, and Andres Townsend will also get in the score sheet for the Eagles, and maybe De Poitre for Huddersfield in a 3-1 victory, as Crystal Palace will bounce back to winning ways, in my view, after a very, very difficult spell in recent weeks against the top sides, shall we say. No disrespect to Crystal Palace. Right, and by the way, with the result tomorrow, if it pans out the way I think it will, Huddersfield will be plunged right back in to danger in the relegation battle. And Stoke and Everton next. I reckon this will be a crucial win for the Potters, again after a difficult enough spell, albeit their last time out was against Manchester City in a 2-0 defeat. As for Everton, their away day blues are going to continue, I reckon. They've only had one away win, I think, all season in the league. Correct me on that if I'm wrong, no problem. But I don't think I am, if memory serves me right. But they're going to suffer defeat tomorrow, yeah. So I reckon the goals are going to come from Charlie Adam and Peter Crouch for Stoke, and Toussaint for Everton. He's been doing very well lately. So 2-1 Stoke, and a crucial 3 points for them in their bid to avoid relegation. As for Everton, they look pretty safe at this stage. And then the final league game this weekend takes place at Anfield, Watford come calling to Merseyside, and I reckon it's going to be a bad day for Watford, as Liverpool have never lost 2 games in a row under Jurgen Klopp. I reckon it's going to be a 3-0 victory for the Reds. Mohamed Salah scored twice, and maybe Roberto Firmino to get the 3rd goal. And Troy Deeney might miss another penalty. Who knows? Let's hope he does. So there you go. Dominant display from the Reds. Hopefully tomorrow, for my sake anyway. Sorry to be biased, but anyway, has to be done at the odd time. Now, we'll move on with my fantasy picks. All these players are obviously playing at the weekend. I've made sure of that. So I have Begovic in goal, Nathan Ake at the back, along with Martin Kenny and Mamadou Sakho. Then on to my midfield, I have Joe Allen and Johan Shaqiri. He's a 75% chance of playing, by the way, folks. So just be careful if you want to pick him, but more than likely he will play. And along with him, I have Wilfred Zaha and Mohamed Salah. And then my forward line has Toussaint, Callum Wilson and Roberto Firmino. And by the way, folks, if Shaqiri doesn't play, you can stick in either Seamus Coleman or Van La Parra for Huddersfield, or Ryan Shawcross. So yeah, there you go. They're my fantasy picks. And the final part of this weekend show says we take you through my Super 6 predictions. As usual, as it hasn't been won yet, there's £1 million up for grabs in this game, so it's well worth giving it a crack, folks, if you want to play it. My picks are a 2-0 win for Bournemouth over West Brom, a 2-1 win Stoke City over Everton, a few championship games as well this weekend, folks, in Super 6. I've Leeds to win 2-1 against Sheffield Wednesday. Middlesbrough to beat Brentford 3-1. And Sheffield United to overcome the challenge of Nottingham Forest by 2-1. And the final Premiership game within Super 6 this weekend is the Crystal Palace and Huddersfield match, and I've gone for a 3-1 win for Crystal Palace there. So that's it, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you like it, subscribe, and I'll be reviewing the last 2 game weeks, including this one, during the week. So look out for that. All the best. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye from Shane.